Alright guys, for the last couple of days or so, my rig's been pulling to the left. On a straight road, if I let go of the steering wheel, which I'm going to do now, watch, and it'll pull to the left. Oh, let me turn the camera up so you can see the road and you'll actually see it as I do it. Okay, let's try it again. Watch. Look at that going to the left. So, when you put your foot on your brakes, it's even worse. It really wants to pull you to the left hand side. Now there's a few reasons why you might be having issues and it's pulling to the left. It could be your brake pads on one side are pulling it one way or the other, because you can have the same issue on the left side as you can on the right. It might be your brake pads, it might be a caliper. Your caliper might not be working, it might be either sticking open or sticking on. One side might be open and it's working fine, and it's binding on one side and it's not on the other. So you've got to go through a process. It could be your tyres, you've not had the tyres, the right pressure in your tyres. You might have, the weights might have fell off your wheel, but if it was to do with your wheels being balanced, you would have a vibration in your steering, and I'm not getting that. So I don't suspect it's going to be the weights that are on the wheel. It's not that. It's just pulling to the left hand side. So like I say, it could be the caliper, but it might be your tracking. But if you've seen all the videos that I've posted, I've done a lot of work on this and I've had no issues with anything that I've actually done. But shit happens and you've got to work through the problem of what it is. So when I get home now, so this is part one. The second video is going through everything that I think that it possibly could be to eliminate it. So we're going to get home, we're going to jack it up, and I'm going to swap the front wheels over. That should be the first thing you want to check. After you've checked it, make sure you've got the right tyre pressure in your tyres, because that makes a big difference of pulling over to one side. If you've got more on one side and not on the other, your vehicle will pull to the left or the right. So that's your first thing. In my eyes, that's the first thing you should check, is your tyre pressure, and swap your wheels over to make sure everything's working as it should be. Just going around the bends here and people trying to squeeze past you as they do with these big things. So do that. But last week, I think it was on Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday of this week, I had the front wheels off. I did I bled the complete braking system all the way through. I've got one of them Sealy automatic braking systems that pressurise it. Did all that, no air, no issues in it. The bearings was all running freely on the wheels, there was no issues there. Front and back, I checked them both over. Everything's working fine. Checked my handbrake, did the whole thing, so there's nothing binding, there's no issues whatsoever. Front and back bearings and everything works freely, so there's no issues there. But you've still got to go through the process of checking all these things out. So it could be the track rod end, it could be a bushing, it could be anything, but something's happening that's pulling my vehicle to the left. So just watch this now. Watch when I brake. Watch. Yeah, did you see that? And I'm only going slow. I was only doing about 5 miles an hour there. So it's pulling to the left. I'll leave the camera down that way so you can see. So now that's where it should be. That's how it is. That's how it should be straight. I mean, on your road you've got a bit of a camfer anyway. You're always going to be slightly going to the left, but if your steering's all working perfectly fine and you've got no issues with it and it's all perfectly aligned, you'd never even notice that there was a camfer on the road. You just wouldn't. So that's the plan, but because it's pulling to the left, my steering wheel is not quite straight, and that's an issue. I like it all to be as it should, but it might be the tracking. I think it's probably the tracking, but I'm going to go through the whole process, because if you're having this issue and it's pulling to the left, you'll probably go on Facebook or look on YouTube or whatever it is for a video and say, why is it pulling left? And they'll pretty much all say the same as me. You've got to go through a process of elimination to find out what it is. So this is part one, like I said, and this is part two of the whole process of showing you how to try and track down what it is. But don't throw any money at it until you need to, you know, but your tracking is the main thing. It's not really something you can do outside your house, you know, on your driveway with a bit of string and all that lot. Take it to a commercial garage or whatever vehicle you've got and go and get them to do it now. These days it's all done by lasers, so you get it all done. I've fitted a new track rod. The videos in the list with all the other videos that I've posted, everything's there, so you'll see what it is that I've fitted. I've had no problems for nearly 2 years with any of this, so this has just developed over the last week. So now it's I just happened to have my camera with me and I thought, stuff it, I'll do this little video on the way home. So now I'm waffling on and just explaining it. So when I get home now, I'm going to get changed, get the blocks underneath, take the wheels off, swap it over. But everything to do from jacking it up to finding the actual issue of what it is going to be in part 2. Okay? Cheers guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.